Today I'm going to spray the fruit trees with a wash. This is a winter tree wash. It's made with vegetable oil. It's an organic product, and all you do is squeeze the fluid into the top of the bottle, and that's a 10 ml dose, and then you use 10 ml dose for each litre that you want to make up, so another 90 millilitres of water. So I'm going to make up 4 litres of this and spray the Bramley apples and the pear tree and probably a couple of other bushes as well. And this acts as a barrier. It's effectively an oil barrier that keeps insects out of the tree in the growing season, and it's especially important during sort of October to December, and then again in March. So I'm a little early with this, but want to get going while the weather is calm and I can get the job done. So I'm going to use this sprayer, which holds 8 litres, and I'm just going to fill it up to 4 litres so that I've got 4 litres of the liquid to use on the trees. As an oil-based product, it's best if the spray is a little bit on the open side, and that way we make sure that it doesn't get clogged up. It's worth agitating this. Bearing in mind it's an oil-based product, if you're not careful it can congregate in one location inside, so keep it agitated so that you get a good spread of fluid on the tree. So one bottle of this winter tree wash is probably going to last me a couple of seasons for the number of trees I've got. So this bottle is made by Growing Success. As I say, it's a natural product, and I've managed to give all the trees a good coating of it. I've learnt my lesson with spray bottles. The ones that I previously owned, I tried to get spare parts for them and failed, but sadly it's either too expensive or not possible. So in learning the lesson, when I finish using this, I fill it up with water, put it under pressure, lock the spray into spray, and then just empty a whole container of water through the sprayer. That way I can make sure that there's no residues, nothing that's going to clog it, and hopefully the sprayer will last that much longer. The next step is fruit tree grease. I'm going to apply this to the trunks. Again, it's a natural physical barrier that stops insects climbing up the tree, up the trunk, and then causing problems later on. But I'm going to wait for the trees to dry from the wash first, and then I'll apply that. So no dig, on the face of it, sounds like no physicality, nothing that's going to be too strenuous. The reality is there is a physical element to no dig gardening, and in respect of compost and the mulch that I use, this is the physical bit. I've got to turn this compost bin and this one still. I'm going to turn this one out and then that one into there, and then the balance of what I've turned out back on top, and that should fill this bin and make this one empty for the next load of manure when it arrives. So this is a physical job. It's a cold day, but it's soon going to warm up. It's tempting when you get down to the base and it gets a bit claggy, just stop and start moving things back. The reality is it's the claggy wet at the bottom that's the most likely to go anaerobic, i.e. without any air, and then that causes problems with your compost heap. So you spend the last few minutes just turning that over and then start feeding the less decomposed stuff that's at the edges back into the middle, and the more decomposed around the edges until I get back up to full or half height, and then all the stuff that's not decomposing is in the middle, and then the heat starts to generate again, and then this stuff will start to decompose. You can see now how much more compressed this material is at the bottom of the compost heap, and it's a lot more decomposed and well on its way, and it's probably just about 8-9 inches to go now, and the other compost heaps filling up. I'll probably get this on the top. Anything that won't go because it's too high, I've already turned this one and I can add it onto the top of there. That'll leave me one more free bay ready for the next load. That compost heap there will now probably consist of 2.5 to 3 trailer loads of horse manure. It just shows how it rots down, and it will go down a lot more than that during the period of the summer months. So there we are, one empty compost bin and 2 became 1, and the extra that I couldn't fit in is gone on top there. You can see that's pretty well decomposed, but I'll spread that across the top evenly and then cover it up, and then that's these 2 ready and a big space ready for some more. So I think this is dried out now and ready to have that grease, the fruit tree grease applied. And it's interesting, when you open a bottle of this, it's actually half empty. I guess that's a reflection of today's marketing. But there we are. So fruit tree grease by Vitax, and you can brush this on. I'm using this plastic glove and I'm just going to wipe it around the trunk. So that's a good couple of inches application, reasonably thick, and that'll stay there and remain sticky, which is its purpose as a physical barrier for some considerable time. And we can top that up if we need be. And I'll get on and do the other trees in exactly the same way. Note to self: plastic glove, not really man enough for the job. Need something a little bit thicker, otherwise it's going to be a big clean up. I learnt my lesson. One of the dilemmas that you have when you're working on the plot this time of year is how easy it is to end up with a mud bath like this. But it's a balance between getting the jobs done that can be done in the winter and what will recover. And I'm very confident that this grass will recover and won't be a problem, but you do need to take care that you don't churn it up too much so that it's irretrievable. The compost area, not a problem, because there's always compost movement down there and it basically stays squidgy and bouncy in the summer. One of the other jobs that I need to get done is just to prepare those extra strawberry hanging baskets so that the mix that I pre-prepared can go into the baskets ready for when I'm ready to plant the additional strawberries. So as you can see, the ones that I planted a week or so ago are doing fine. I just need a bigger gap between them and the next tranche, but there's nothing to stop me getting the compost into the baskets, into the bags, and ready for planting. So there we are, another 5 baskets ready for strawberries when I'm ready to plant them. You'll notice I've put them in a different colour bag, and that makes it easy for me as the season goes on, just to make sure I understand what I intended to be later fruiting and what was the earliest fruiting. Now the temperature in here is beginning to pick up on a day like today. It might be cold outside, but the sun's strong and we've hit 24 degrees at the moment, even with the door open. So I'm going to give these a water, and I'm also going to water the beds just to keep them topped up with moisture, and probably give a light watering to the seedlings as well, although I don't want to overdo that. We don't want them to be dying back or suffering from being waterlogged. I'll show you the seedlings once I've got the covers off. So a quick summary then of the seedlings. All these sweet pea varieties have come through. The Rheinsberger storing onion, almost dead, and will not be putting them in the polytunnel in the future. Fortunately I got plenty of those indoors. The Zebrun, still a couple holding on. The Ailsa Craig, these are doing okay. This one and this one are a little bit weak, and that one. The Rheinsberger onion that I sowed straight into the sowing tray in the polytunnel, all shooting now, and I'm hoping they'll turn out to be hardier than these that were germinated indoors and then brought out. These peas, they're old seed and will become just shoots for eating, doing nicely, not far off now. Cabbage Golden Acre and cauliflower Autumn Giant, they're doing fine. I can see the broad beans all breaking through now, which is good news. And the winter lettuce, which is Morton's Secret Mix and this red salad bowl, I'm hoping these are sort of early lettuce and they're germinated. They're really getting close to needing pricking out, and I'll be doing that soon. The marigolds coming on nicely. Parsley, nothing at all. Greyhound cabbage doing really well, and the white Lisbon onions sown straight into cells in the polytunnel, all shooting through nicely. The Boltardi beetroot, again shooting through nicely, and I'm sure they'll be very successful. I can see some leeks now. This is the blue soleils, just a bit of a later sowing, but I can see them shooting through now. Nothing from the sweet pea cherub at the moment, but that was sown a little later. And my celeriac, trying to get some early plants, not really working yet. Down below we've got the Musselburgh, my main leek seedlings, all shooting and doing well. And then the potatoes that I put in early, which are Charlotte, nothing breaking through yet, which is absolutely fine. Temperature wise in the polytunnel then, 24.1 degrees maximum, and it's got down in the last couple of days to 0.1 degrees C, so not below freezing, which is interesting. I'm sure we've got plenty of cold weather to come, so we'll just keep an eye on everything and make sure that nothing gets damaged by covering it up whenever necessary. So these beds, not fully utilised as I've said before. We're using them just to overwinter some garden plants, and we'll have those out of those beds soon and regenerate the beds. But I was interested to see down here is self-seeded lamb's lettuce, which is wonderful to see. So hopefully we'll probably be able to separate those and move them so that they're across the bed, but we'll see how they go. But it'd be nice to have some early lamb's lettuce. While I've got the opportunity and the weather on my side, I'm going to clear the rest of this blackcurrant area, get all the twigs up and just get it a little bit cleaner, and probably take the opportunity to get those stinging nettles out at the same time. This isn't very easy ground. It's gnarly, there's roots in it, and the stinging nettles have taken a good hold. But this is the allotment here's best friend. It's a Chillington hoe, and whereas the rake and other tools just get trapped in the roots and the rough ground, this just goes straight through it. And this is what you use for clearing ground, and it's ideal for this sort of job. In truth, this is going to be a long job, and it's going to be a case of doing a little often. And as I start to see things grow in the way of weeds or stinging nettles, at least, I'm going to be removing them. And then over time I'll remove the gnarly roots that are coming to nothing. But I need to see what's going to grow, and then I can start making informed decisions. In the meantime, it'll be just about keeping it tidy. the last of the storm damage jobs done for today. I do hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and if you want updates from me each time I upload a video, click the bell and select all. I do hope you have a great day. Diolch yn fawr.